nice to be on vacation with you.
Yeah, me and you.
Even though we ended up as counselors at the
most dangerous summer camp on earth.
It's gonna be great. Great.
Zed! Daywalkers!
Vampires! Prepare for battle!
Watch out!
This is the place to be.
Well, camp's now officially in session.
Well, let's get started. I want to thank you for taking time out speaking with me. My name is Aries from Urban Bridges. And again, excited to finally get the chance to catch up with you.
Listen, let's do this. I'm excited about this as well. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. First of all, let's get into zombies real quick. How did you get involved with that?
It's a funny story. My agent I was up for this particular job back, a couple of years ago, not zombies, but another job. My agent kind of screwed it up for me. I forgot what happened, but then they followed with, but we have a meeting with Disney with you for this franchise called Zombies. But mind you, the other job that they've screwed up for me was like Michelle Pfeiffer, Viola Davis. So I had a little attitude. I was like, what, you messed up my opportunity with Michelle Pfeiffer and Viola Davis, and you coming to me with something called Zombies? What is it? What? Like, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Like, how you do that, right? So whatever. I was like, but I just so happened to be in South Carolina with my nephews, and they overheard me say Zombies for Disney, and they had this whole like, I'm like, what is this? My sister was like, oh, it's a thing. Like Zombies for, and my nephews was 10 and like 13 at the time. And she was like, oh, it's a thing. And at that moment, I was like, I have to get this job, because how they got excited and turned up about it. I was like, oh yeah, I got to get this job. So then I had a meeting with the producer, and this was on Zombies 3. Had a meeting with the producer, Suzanne Farwell, and the director, Paul Hohen. And I got on the phone with them, and I was like, you guys have no idea. I'm here in South Carolina, and my nephews overheard me say Zombies, and they ecstatic about it. So I got to get this job. So that's how I kind of got in there.
I love that. That's a real good story. What did you enjoy most once you started working on the project with the creative team and cast?
I think that the cast, top tier. They work hard. They're young. They want to have a good time. There's never a dull moment, especially for Zombies 4. Zombies 3, my introduction, I came in. The cast was amazing. Everybody was a good time. Was awesome. But creatively, they had already kind of established these entities, right? Because Zombies have these entities. There's zombies. There's werewolves. There's all these things that exist in this world that they created. But they kind of had already built like the way they move, kind of sort of. So I kind of just amped it up a little bit. But on Zombies 4, we were able to introduce 2 new entities, which are daywalkers and vampires. So I had the privilege to go in and create my own little, base and give them their own little style and things. So I really had a good time doing that. And the cast is amazing. The creative team at this point from Zombies 3, they was like, oh, Draico got his department, he's fine. So there was no micromanagement for me. They just let me do me. So I love that. And for Zombies 4, I love how it turned out. Them kids were jamming. I had them babies dancing. So listen. So that's how I really enjoyed my director, my cast. Everybody trusts me. I trust that everything's going to come through, and they're going to get the shot. So I love them.
I love that. You got to tell everybody. They already know. But for those that don't know and haven't seen, tell them why they need to be watching and streaming Zombies 4 right now on Disney.
Oh, you have to stream Zombies 4 on Disney, because it is, even though it's supposed to be, and it technically is, not kids, but kids preteen type of movie, but it's so inspirational, especially in the climate of the world right now. Like it's upside down and all craziness. And the crazy part is everybody think that their way is right, and everybody think that they the creators of something. And in this world with zombies, they think the same thing. But when they put the differences aside and come together, it's way more impactful, and you get way more done that way. So it's a lesson that lies underneath the storyline there. And besides that, they are dead. I made them, my process of taking over, creating the choreography for this job is acting like one group is from Atlanta and the other group is from Chicago, and they are really dancing. So that's how I kind of brought a real life to them.
No doubt. I love that. Switching gears, but kind of staying on subject. When did you first discover your love for dance?
I think it has always been who I was. My mother and father would tell me when my mother was pregnant with me, she partied and wanted to dance the entire 9 months. If she heard a beat, that's just what she did. So every my aunts and uncles to this day be like, we're not surprised. I mean, my dad just knew he was gonna have a baseball and football player because I played baseball and football in my entire life. I grew up in South Carolina where there's no performing arts school, so there's not really an artistic outlet for somebody who's a dancer, somebody who's a painter, somebody there's no creative outlet there. So you kind of play sports. So I grew up my whole life playing sports, but I always could dance. But then I moved to Atlanta to good old Morris Brown College, HBCU, and then that's when everything shifted. You know, that's when the dancer really took over. So yeah,
Real
I think it's just
cool.
always been a part of who I was. It's just always been in my DNA.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And my family's from South Carolina, Lauren, so that's
No,
what's up.
you already know you already know all about it. One stoplight and trees.
Yeah, y'all know how to practice. All right. During your career, you worked with a lot of legends, man. Your resume is thick. What is some of the best advice you received from someone that we would know?
Um, I performed on the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson, and she was as big of an icon and legend. I mean, she's Janet Jackson. You don't need to say no more. But I remember sitting in a fitting, and for the fitting for the Super Bowl with her, it was you, the wardrobes, the stylist, and her. And it was like 40 of us. And she had it timed out that she sat there with each one of us, and all of us had like an hour fitting because she wanted to make sure there was her time to get the styling done, to sit down with you, to talk to you, to learn about you. You know what I mean? So like it was
All
very personable, which I will
right.
always respect that. And I think that being in that space, being nervous as I was, she allowed me to be who I was, and I felt seen and heard. So my biggest lesson that I took away from that particular experience was every project that I'm on, every time I'm casting dancers or working with actors, or I always make sure everyone feels seen and heard. No matter there's no role greater than the other to me on the set. We all in here to get one thing done, even though the pay scale may feel different, but the way you treat people is all the same.
There you go. I love that. We love Queen Janet here, so I love that.
Listen, listen, that is the mother of all mothers. Listen.
You know it. Before we wrap, you got to tell us about the in the Groove workshops.
So the In the Groove workshop that I did, that the In the Groove workshop was a workshop that I got brought on to teach some kids. And it's basically this guy named Guy Groove had this workshop convention where he just bring in choreographers, and I was one of the highly recommended choreographers to come teach on that. But I also do teach workshops and do things on my own. So I have a podcast coming out with my best friend Jamal Sims, who's also another huge creative director, choreographer himself, who's working on Camp Rock right now. I have a scripted series that I'm working on called Dance Masterminds, which it tells the behind the scenes. It's things that happen, about these creatives, these choreographers. We have always been here, but never seen. People always think that the actors made them steps up or the artists made them steps up. There's always a person who made that up to make it look good that people always kind of overlook. So I have a show called Dance Masterminds that's coming, that's kind of talking about that. But for the people who want me to come teach, I'm always out teaching. You can hit me up on social, on my website, to find me. So I'm always doing workshops just like the Guy Groove one.
Well, good. Well, you answered my next question because I was gonna ask what's next for you, but you told us, so I love that.
Listen, yeah, I got some shows in development and things. I think I made a cool little blueprint in this industry for myself. So now it's just time to shift gears, take it up a notch. I'm one of those guys who once I start doing something, if I'm in it, you open up the door, I got to open up the rest of the doors. So we here.
I love that. Real encouraging. I love to hear that. Well, I'm excited to see what you do next, bro. I'm
Yeah.
definitely happy we finally linked up for this interview. I've enjoyed it a lot.